In this video help, I'm going to be covering the store sales report by store. This is access the video through this video icon. Let's go to that store report and see what we're going to be doing. The store report is sorted by the store name. In this case, we have the Nut Tree store. Now, in this preliminary version of this app, there's also a web store, but there are no items that are now assigned to the web store. So if there were a item assigned to the web store, that would be another heading similar to the one you see up at the top here, and then it would show that data. In this particular case, it shows the invoice date as far as the item is concerned, and then you'll see the individual invoices in here and their invoice date as you go down. So there's a separate line or break between each one of the items for the invoice date. You'll notice that there are different people on these dates. Now this is all for the 21st. So this would be all the invoices taken on the 21st. And then this was the invoices taken for 4/1. Now, like I said, this is all preliminary data. So what you're going to see is just records that I've added for testing purposes. What you're really looking for when you're accessing this is the store, the information for the store, and the individual records that you want to view. Now, you can do a find, and you can pick the invoice date range or date of the actual invoices for that date. So, for example, if I did a do find and did 4/21 in this particular case in the actual date field, that would give me the dates for that date range. So what we want to do is go ahead and enter the invoice date. In this particular case, the invoice date was 4/21. So by adding the date, now you can do the calculation if you want to do a date range, but in this particular case, I'm going to do just this one dates. So I'm going to go ahead and perform the find. And now you see the report shows the invoice items for that date. Well, something looks wrong here because it doesn't show the actual store at the top. Well, you do that by showing the date, by running the report again, and then the date will and the information at the top will be shown for the invoice range that you're working with. So all these should be for 4/21, and as you can see, they are for 4/21. Now there's obviously a time that was shown for each invoice and the kind of customer it was, where they were actually from by their name. It also does a sub-summary for all the items that are listed above, and then it gives you the total for those items and the balance if anything is due at the end. Now, what you can do on this particular screen in the reports is you can omit a record for whatever reason. Let's say I wanted to take out the walk-in client and I hit the omit button. Now you can see that all the figures are going to change, the summary totals are going to change, and now I'm only looking at the information for the remaining invoices. There may be a reason for that if you need it, or for example, you may want to turn around and just show the item for that particular omitted item, and then you can run the find again and either show the additional information, or you can show all the records again and show them all on the screen, and then rerun the indicator by clicking on show all records, and now you'll see that run the report again, and now the report shows all records again. So let's cover that. And there's one last thing up here. This particular one is the show hide menus at the top of the screen. So if you're working on the iPad or on a screen where you don't want to have the menu show, you can toggle it on and off by clicking this icon. This application is set up so you do not really need any of the top menus that are in the operation unless you're doing something on the iPad where you want to do an export of data from these records. Then you would use the menus at the top and bottom of the iPad screen. For example, you could say print to print the screen on the iPad and send it through a air printer and print the record as you see it here. Now, none of this stuff over here will be shown. Only the information that you see in this area will be printed. And the same thing goes for if you want to do a PDF version of this screen, you can print and do a PDF version on the iPad and then either email it or print it. So there's a lot of options you have. We're using FM Go when we're doing something like this, and FM Go is a free product on iTunes that allows you to run the cloud version of this app or a standalone version on the iPad and iPhone. The iPad and iPhone have their singular versions of this, the app for FM Go, and you'd have to have one or both of those in order to use them on both devices. If you have any questions, you can always contact me by using the support site. And if you have additional items that you say you would like to have added, or maybe do a special version of this application, you can contact me for that information as well. Thank you.